Yeah, hi, I'm Paul Archer. Let me talk to you about knee-jerk reactions. Now, as a kid, I was fascinated by those doctors on the TV that could, tap a little hammer on the patient's knee, and the knee would sort of jerk upwards. Fascinating thing, and I tried for ages to try and simulate that myself, and I got quite a lot of bruises to actually show for it as well. Now, the point is, though, that life is full of knee-jerk reactions. People get used to reacting in a certain way to certain situations. We get into like habits and patterns, and in sales this is particularly important. You see, when faced with the opportunity to buy something, we often go into a knee-jerk reaction and we say something like no thanks, or I'll think about it, or send me some brochures, or email me some information. Now this is a knee-jerk reaction. Unfortunately, many salespeople on the front line, or those people selling things on counters and stuff like that, they accept these customer reactions and they move on and they don't close the sale. And this is a shame, because often the knee-jerk reaction is not a real reason why they don't want to go ahead. Now, the secret is to accept them for what they are, knee-jerk reactions, and kind of ignore them. Don't totally ignore them, but kind of ignore them. Use a phrase that holds the customer, and then just retry the same close as you did before. If you do this carefully and subtly, it will make the customer think through their knee-jerk reaction decision and maybe come out with a good reason why they want to go ahead. Here's a few examples for you. You could say something like, that's fine. I'm only asking for a short chat with our advisor. It won't take more than 5 minutes. It won't harm today, will it? You're not actually overcoming the objection, are you? You're just acknowledging it, really. Or you could say, I understand. However, the benefits of this plan are excellent. And you could then talk about that. Or it could be, are you sure? You'll be missing out on such and such. I like that one as well. It's a really good one, by the way, to use on the counter. Or it could be, I could email you some brochures or send you some information, but hey, I've got actually a better idea. Why don't we just meet up for 10 minutes and talk it through? See what you're doing? You're just literally just holding them, acknowledging the fact it was a knee-jerk reaction, and just coming in with rephrasing the same close as you did before, really. Okay, now the second knee-jerk reaction I'd like to talk to you about is equally as dangerous, really, and that's the one that we give as a salesperson. You see, when a customer gives us an objection or a reservation, which might not be their knee-jerk reaction one, it could be a real understandable one or realistic reservation, what we tend to do is to come up quickly with an answer. Especially if we just come back from a training course, or we've just read a textbook on objection handling, because we know all the answers, don't we? And this is wrong. This is very dangerous. Again, the trick here is to react differently. A little reminder for you that can help you in these situations is to remember to climb on and sit on your customer's lap. I'm not talking physically sit on their lap, although that does, I guess, depend upon the customer and the relationship you've got. No, I'm talking about the rule LAP, L-A-P. L stands for listen to the reservation. I mean, really listen to it. Don't just sort of, look at them, think about what you're going to say next. No, really listen to what they've actually got to say. Then we acknowledge it. And here, you're not like agreeing with them. That would be wrong, wouldn't it? You're kind of acknowledging where they're coming from. You're seeing their point of view. You're understanding where they're coming from. And then you do a P, the probe. This is to ask a question, to probe a little bit more, to figure out exactly what the issue is. And this LAP process can actually be really useful. Here's an example for you. Mr. Brown, I can see where you're coming from, and that's a fine point actually you're making. Can I ask, is this the only issue that's preventing you from going ahead? So there's a nice little demonstration of the LAP technique. The strategy works. I've seen it many times before being used by top salespeople. Not only does it give you thinking time, which is really important to think things through, it shows your customer you are actually listening to them. You're coming on their side as well, and that's really important when handling reservations, which can be quite a sensitive area. So consider then the two knee-jerk reactions then next time you're in a sales situation. The customer's reaction, first of all, to your close, and the potential quick response that you might give to their reservation as well. Both pretty hazardous in their own right. And try as I may, I keep trying to get my knee, banging my knee to jerk it upwards, but it still won't work. Maybe if I kind of hit it a bit harder, it might actually work. Hey, I hope you found this useful. Catch you next week. Goodbye.